It's 3 a.m., and an official alert woke you up. The message says, "Don't look up at the moon." At the same time, you see you've gotten hundreds of texts from unknown numbers. The night is beautiful, look outside. This is the first time you've gotten so many texts from strangers, and they all say the same thing. It feels weird, like some kind of prank. You don't pull back the curtains right away. Instead, you Google it out of curiosity. Unfortunately, there's nothing unusual. Maybe it really is just a prank, you think. You lie back down, trying to relax and go back to sleep. It's 3 a.m., and an official message wakes you up. You rub your head and see the hundreds of texts from strangers again. Just as you're about to complain about someone pranking you every night, you suddenly see the date. August 3, 2040. Isn't that yesterday's date? You instinctively open your settings to see if your phone is messed up, but then you remember that yesterday's memory is blank. It stopped when you went to sleep. You feel a little uneasy, but you try to tell yourself you're overthinking it. There's a sudden knock on your door. "You asleep, son?" It's your parents' voices. You open the door without thinking. As soon as you open it, your parents are standing there, saying they heard some noise and came to check on you. But you only rolled over in bed. "Since you're awake, the night is beautiful, look outside," they say. Okay. You're a little more awake now. What could happen from just looking at the moon? Mom gently pulls back the curtains. Then, a flash of white light. Just as expected, it's 3 a.m., and you're awake. You see the official alert, hundreds of texts from strangers, and August 3, 2040. You start to panic, remembering the message. Don't look up at the moon. You try to calm down, but anxiety fills your mind. Not just last night, but your memories from before seem blurry too. What's happening to you? While your mind races, you start listing the known information on your fingers. You suddenly remember you're living alone in a rental, and your parents are back home about half a city away. They've always respected your space and would never just show up at 3 a.m. without calling. But just now, they not only knocked but also tried to get you to look outside. Your parents have always been respectful. They're acting really strange today, like completely different people. You start sweating. Or maybe, are they really your parents outside? It means that at night, if you open the window, you'll see the moon. Thinking of this, you carefully find all the clips in the closet and meticulously clip the curtains together. You also use a pole to close the window for ventilation through the curtain. A familiar knock. You asleep? You instantly become alert. It's still your parents' voices. For the first time, you feel how unsettling this familiar voice is right now. You don't make a sound and quietly crawl back into bed. To be safe, you pretend to be asleep. The knocking stops. Minutes pass. While it's quiet, you carefully lock the door from the inside. It's still silent outside. Your tense nerves slowly start to relax. The prolonged tension makes you tired, and you go back to bed, feeling drowsy. Maybe when you wake up, it will be morning, and this will all be over. You think. August 3, 3 a.m. You don't linger to look at the messages or think about the meaning of that phrase. Instead, you grab the clips and pole from the closet, clip the curtains shut, and close the window. After calming down a bit, you start to think about where you went wrong. After thinking, you write down the fourth point. You're not entirely sure if losing consciousness is what brings you back here, but at least last time, when you were fully aware, you didn't immediately return to 3 a.m. You continue to think if you missed anything. Thump thump thump. The knocking starts again. You immediately turn off your phone and pretend to be asleep. Hearing no movement inside, the sound outside stops again. But after a few minutes, you hear a key slide into the lock. Damn, you forgot to lock the door. Your nerves tighten again, but you're afraid of making a mistake by being too tense, so you force yourself to breathe steadily. Creak. The door opens, followed by footsteps slowly approaching. They stop when they reach the bed. You can barely breathe. It's like when you were a kid caught secretly playing on your phone, pretending to be asleep out of nervousness but constantly listening for sounds. After several minutes, the footsteps start again, gradually fading away, followed by the sound of the door opening and closing. You squint your eyes, and after confirming there's no one in front of the door, you open them, breathing a sigh of relief. Suddenly, a voice drifts from behind you. Pretending to sleep isn't nice, you know. You turn your head in terror to look at the window. A woman is standing eerily in front of the window, smiling at you. You've never felt your mother so strange and terrifying. Then the woman, while you're still in a state of shock, with a speed almost impossible for a human, yanks open the curtain and opens the window. 3 a.m. You sit on the bed and write down the 5th point. You instinctively closed your eyes just now, but you instantly felt the same oppressive suffocation as before. Then your vision blurred for a few seconds, and you lost consciousness. This isn't working. These few times have been almost suicidal attempts to get information that you don't even know is reliable. Instead of waiting to die, it's better to take the initiative. Your mind races. Based on the previous times, your parents usually knock around 3:40 a.m. to check on you. If you're fast enough, maybe you can leave before they knock. Even if you don't leave, you can hide in a safer spot instead of being trapped like a turtle in a jar. Going out means inevitably being exposed to moonlight. But the curtains prevented you from dying and resetting immediately, which means this kind of light-blocking material can also block moonlight. You remember that a female friend left her sun umbrella at your place during a gathering a few days ago. It's on the shoe cabinet by the entrance. Maybe you can try using it. There should be some thicker, light-blocking clothes in the closet, though it might be a bit warm. There's a cabinet in the living room that you originally planned to put in used items in, but since you live alone, there's nothing really to put in it. It's not very big, but it should be fine to hide in. It's now 3:08 a.m. Packing clothes and finding something for self-defense will take until around 3:20 a.m. Then, quickly go to the living room and hide in the cabinet. If you're fast, you should be able to do it. While thinking, you quickly go to the closet and grab a fall leather jacket, some thicker pants and socks, a winter hat, and also find a mirror and a fruit knife for self-defense. You throw on the clothes like you're late for work, put on the hat, take a deep breath, and run to the living room. Thankfully, just as you thought, there's nothing there. But you don't have time to think. You rush into the cabinet and hide. As soon as you close the cabinet door, you hear the outer door open. He should be in the bedroom. Knock. If he doesn't answer, break in. Glad you left. After a few minutes, they seem to realize you're not in the bedroom, and the footsteps head towards the living room. He's not here either. Did he go out? Let's go, don't let him get away. Then there's another rush of footsteps leaving. But you still don't lower your guard, because even though the footsteps are mixed, if you listen closely, you can tell it seems like only one person left. Sure enough, after another 10 minutes, you hear the sound of another person leaving. You wait until they're gone before quietly crawling out of the cabinet. In the dark, you quickly go to the bathroom to put on your clothes and mask, checking that no skin is exposed. You put on leather shoes, grab the sun umbrella from the shoe cabinet, and finally go out. Afraid of being seen by others, you sneak down the stairs in the dark. Just as you're wondering where to go, the official source that warned you don't look at the moon sends another message: abandoned warehouse behind the school. You open the official message. Besides these two messages, there's no other information. It's like it's guiding you. But you don't have time to think. Since the initial warning was correct, this one is likely right too. Besides, there's no other information available right now. Luckily, your building is close to that school, so you should be able to walk there in 10 minutes. You reach the stairwell entrance and open a women's sun umbrella for the first time in your life. You cautiously step out into the moonlight, holding the umbrella tightly over your upper body. Thankfully, there's no fatal suffocation. You guessed right. You walk towards the school based on memory. The streets are empty, no people or animals. Of course, who would be out for a walk at 3 a.m.? Wait, something's still not right. Even at 3 a.m., this road leads to the busiest street in the city. It's impossible for there to be absolutely no living things. You cautiously observe your surroundings. But besides you moving, it's eerily quiet. You're almost at the school. Suddenly, you hear faint footsteps in the distance. You immediately hide behind a roadside billboard. But with all the clothes and the umbrella, you're a big target, so you close the umbrella and cautiously observe. You crouch behind the billboard and see a figure vaguely approaching. It feels a little familiar, like you've seen them somewhere before. The figure gets closer, and you recognize who it is. Isn't that Jack? Jack is the first person you met after starting your job. When you first arrived, you were new to the area, and he helped you a lot. He's a very kind person. What's he doing here? Is he stuck in the same loop as you, heading to the abandoned warehouse after getting the official message? You think about it and decide going alone is too risky, but just revealing yourself might not be a good idea either. So, you open your phone and send him a text. Where are you? His phone dings, he looks down, and seems to be typing. Soon, you get a reply. Out. What's up? He has his phone, and the reply is normal. It must be Jack. You cautiously peek out from behind the billboard and wave at him. He sees you right away and cautiously walks towards you. What are you doing here? Ran out from home. Don't know why, but everyone seems to want me to look at the moon. You don't know yet? A few days ago, something changed with the moon. 90% of living things that looked at or were illuminated by the moon died. A few days ago? Why doesn't he have memories from a few days ago either? What about the other 10%? You press. He smiles. Of course, they evolved into superior moon people. You suddenly notice he's wearing summer clothes, and his skin is exposed and looks normal. You take a step back defensively. You're a moon person. Do you know what a qualified moon person needs to do? What? Of course, it's to eliminate lower life forms. He suddenly lunges at you and rips off your hat and mask. The familiar feeling of suffocation hits you. You see the familiar eerie smile. You start to lose it, because it's 3 a.m. right now. You didn't expect to be betrayed by the person you trusted most, and you didn't expect to be dragged back even after leaving the house. What number is this time? Oh, the 6th time. You count on your fingers. Even though you were caught these times, all that happened was being exposed to the moon. The so-called moon people didn't seem to force you unconscious or use violence to make you lose consciousness. What does that mean? It means the moon people are just using the fact that moonlight can kill other creatures besides themselves to carry out the so-called cleaning up of lower life forms. It's not that communication is impossible. It just seems that ever since they became moon people, they've been like completely different people. But even so, there might be one path you can try. Thinking of this, you take out your phone again and search for the term moon people on Bing. Surprisingly, no relevant information appears. Instead, it mysteriously jumps to a page, Moon Life. You have a hunch that this website is definitely related to moon people, but you need a verification code to enter. Just as you're at a loss. Thump thump thump, the knocking starts again. Perfect timing. You just sit on the bed openly, ready to face them head on for the first time. You asleep? No, come on in, you say. The people outside pause, seemingly not expecting you to invite them in so directly. After a few seconds, they enter your bedroom one after the other. The night is beautiful today, Look outside, you initiate. They're taken aback. Yeah, did you see it? Yeah, the moon is really pretty tonight, you say seriously, lying through your teeth. Your mother is stunned, then quickly walks over and touches your hand. That's great, she says. She suddenly seems overjoyed, while your father keeps frowning and doesn't say anything. You don't believe me? Seeing your father's face, you pretend to be annoyed and act like you're about to pull back the curtains, but you're actually gripping them tightly. Of course Mom and Dad believe you, your mother quickly says when she sees this, and stops you from pulling the curtains open. You breathe a sigh of relief inwardly. Son, do you know about moon people? Your mother suddenly asks. Moon people? You pretend ignorance. A few days ago, something strange happened to the moon. If you're exposed to moonlight, 90% of people will die, and less than 10% will evolve, becoming immune, which means they evolve into moon people, your father explains. Oh, is that right? You continue to play dumb. Exactly when did the moon become like this? You ask again. It seems, it was the night of August 1st, your father says. How about this, you rest for a bit, and there's a gathering later. All the moon people will get together, and you'll understand when you go, your mother says excitedly. Okay, you agree for now. Your parents leave to let you rest, leaving you alone in your bedroom to think. But after only a few minutes, your father comes back into your room alone. Facing you, his eyes are sharp. You're not a moon person, he says with certainty. What do you want? You neither admit nor deny it. I don't think moon people are some kind of human evolution. Maybe, you can change the current situation. Can I still trust you? You ask. These past few days, the moon people's ranks have been growing uncontrollably. They're led by someone called the High Priest. He often uses words to make people believe that moon people are the result of perfect evolution, guiding them to actively verify whether others are moon people. But actually, it's very likely he just wants to eliminate some non-moon people through this verification. Although many people blindly follow him, including your mother. But I still believe that all life is equal. You didn't expect your father to be willing to tell you this. There's a website called Moonlife. It's where most moon people communicate and gather. You can take a look. The verification code is Miracle. Just as he finishes speaking and is about to leave, he suddenly remembers something. A meteorite fell nearby recently. I heard that with that kind of stone, you can greatly weaken the damage from moonlight. It seems, it's near the XX school. You instantly remember the official message. Abandoned warehouse behind the school. After he finishes speaking, he leaves without looking back. You quickly enter the verification code, and after loading for a while, you're in. Sure enough, the top message on the page is about a gathering happening in half an hour. You calculate. Half an hour. Going to the abandoned warehouse first to find the meteorite, then rushing to the gathering is almost impossible. Besides, you've been really curious about something. You feel like if you don't do it now, you might not get another chance. Besides, since fate gave you curiosity and a chance to reset, it must be for more than just following the rules. So, you want to see what the moon that so many people are tempting you to look at actually looks like. You take a deep breath and grip the curtains tightly. You quickly pull them back and look up. The feeling of suffocation hits you. What a mesmerizing, soul-stirring full moon. 3 a.m. You shouldn't have been woken up by the official message this time. Maybe it's because you were too reckless last time and stared directly at the moon. The feeling of suffocation is stronger than ever. You're almost woken up by a dry cough. But hey, it was worth it. You quickly change your clothes. To avoid trouble and save time, you crawl back into the cabinet. After your parents leave, you carefully sneak out and quickly cover up any exposed skin. This time, you think the sun umbrella is too obvious a target, so you simply take it apart as you go downstairs. Then you cut out 2 holes for your eyes. You haphazardly wrap the fabric around your head, cut off the excess, tuck it into your clothes, and then put on a hat and sunglasses. Now, you're basically good to go. With this getup, even your own mother wouldn't recognize you. You cautiously step out of the building and, after making sure it's safe, you quickly walk towards the school, staying alert. Along the way, you run into your neighbor again, just as expected. But this time, you wait behind the billboard until he's gone. The walk is uneventful. You finally reach the school entrance and feel around until you find the back gate. Sure enough, there's an old building not far from the back gate. That must be the abandoned warehouse. As you get closer, you feel like the warehouse is really dilapidated. The eaves are crooked and covered in cobwebs, the walls are dusty, and the doorframe is also tilted. It's already night, and there are no strong light sources nearby, making it feel incredibly eerie. You gently push open the wooden door. As soon as you enter, you're enveloped in darkness. Just as you're about to turn on your phone's flashlight, you suddenly realize that would make it easier to be spotted. It's too dark. You can only vaguely make your way forward. After taking a couple of steps, you find another door ahead, with a faint light coming from inside. You cautiously feel for the door and enter. As soon as you step inside, you see a small crack in the roof letting in a sliver of moonlight, which falls on a cobblestone about the size of half your fist. The cobblestone emits a faint purple light, looking especially mysterious in the overgrown warehouse. You cautiously approach, pull out the cloth you prepared beforehand from your pocket, and carefully pick up the stone. This stone looks unusual. It's probably the one they were talking about. You're just about to think about how to test if this stone can really counteract some of the moonlight's erosion. Suddenly, you hear some rustling sounds outside the door. Is it really here? Of course, what I said is here. You can't quite hear what they're saying outside the door, but from the sounds, they're likely looking for this stone too. You quickly find a random stone on the ground, place it where the cobblestone was, and crouch in a corner with tall weeds. Since there's no other exit in this warehouse, you'll probably have to wait until they leave to sneak out. You hear them push the door open and enter. A strong beam of light flashes around. It must be a flashlight. Even though the weeds in the corner where you're hiding are waist high, they're sparse, and there's a good chance you'll be spotted if they shine the flashlight over here. You can only hope they take the stone and leave quickly. Dude, is it really here? The one holding the flashlight says as he walks in. I saw it on the website. It can't be wrong. Bullshit, 2 days ago you told me there was a spring on the east side of the city that could cure all diseases. Seriously. I vaguely heard the high priest talking about a meteorite during the gathering yesterday, and that it must be destroyed. It must be this one. The high priest said to destroy it? And you still dare to take it? Aren't you afraid of being stripped of your moon person status? Exactly. Wait, dude, aren't you the most obedient to the high priest? Why are you acting so strange today? Me? That's messed up, man. Have any of us ever treated you badly? You're not even going to tell us? Okay, well, actually, I also heard that this stone seems to be able to reduce the oppressive feeling of moonlight on non-moon people. That thing is useless to you, though. Unless. It's not that, it's just, I fell for a girl, and she seems, not a moon person. Even though she's not in great health, and I'm just a lowlife, at least I want her to survive. I know I shouldn't protect non-moon people, but I was wrong this time, hiding from you guys to find this stone. How about this, you guys get out of here quickly. The high priest's people might find this place soon. If the high priest finds out later, just say you didn't know and that I brought you here. You should have said so earlier, it's just a stone. Exactly, stop messing around. If you had said so earlier, would we not have come with you to find it? But, she's not. Are moon people human? Are non-moon people not human? Why can't humans be together? Besides, what law says moon people and non-moon people can't be together? I think you ate too much chives and blocked your brain earlier. Stop messing around and find it quickly. With that, you see the three of them start walking towards you. Hey, does that stone over there look like it? They see a regular stone you threw where the original cobblestone was. Although this stone doesn't emit a faint light, with the moonlight shining down, it looks the part. This one looks a bit ordinary. What do you know? The more powerful something is, the more ordinary it looks, okay? Alright, it's probably this one. Let's get out of here quickly, it'll be bad if the high priest's people find us. They're about to leave, and you breathe a sigh of relief. Hey, what's this? Suddenly, the one holding the flashlight seems to see something and walks towards you. You quickly stuff the stone into your pocket and are so nervous you can barely breathe. In a few strides, a burly man is almost standing in front of you. Damn, who are you? Now you can see clearly. A big, strong man with a mohawk and large tattoos, clearly the gang leader, is looking at you very cautiously. Hearing there's someone else here, the other two lowlifes also quickly walk towards you. Holy cow, what is this? Just came back from robbing a bank? You almost forgot how bizarre your getup was when you left. You were forced to hide in the corner as soon as you got the stone, and you didn't have time to change into normal clothes. After hearing him, you think that since you're indoors anyway and you've got the stone, and judging by their conversation, the stone seems useful, you try pulling off the umbrella cloth mask, sunglasses, hat, and so on. Hey, guys, I wasn't trying to eavesdrop. You better give us a good explanation, or else, the gang leader shows you his fist. You feel like things are about to get bad. I might be able to help, dude, you say desperately, having no other choice. Now that we have this stone, why should we believe you? One of the lowlifes interjects. That one's fake. I'm a scientist, specializing in studying moon people, you start to bluff. I was surveying the area tonight and saw someone sneaking out of this warehouse. They seemed to be carrying something glowing, and they left. I was curious and came in to take a look, and that's when I ran into you guys. These lowlifes don't seem very smart, so you decide to take a gamble. I'm advising you for your own good. If you don't believe me, there's nothing I can do. The three lowlifes hear what you say and seem to hesitate. Is he telling the truth? Look how strange he's dressed. Either he's got a problem, or he's some kind of scientist. Look at the people on TV who study things all day, do any of them wear normal clothes? Maybe he's reliable. Besides, what if he's telling the truth? Then we're in danger with this fake stone too. They discuss intensely for a while, but decide to trust you for now. Hey, but if you really help dude overcome this problem, we'll do anything you say. Really? You suddenly think of something. My research is stuck right now. I need a large number of moon people as samples. Normally, I don't like going to gatherings, but I have to go today. Since it's my first time, can you guys show me the way? That's easy. We're heading to the gathering anyway in a bit. Our motorcycles are parked outside. We can just go together. But if it's your first time, I'd advise you not to drink the drinks they hand out at the entrance. Drinks, is there something wrong with them? Maybe it's just us, but we always feel like people around us become a little abnormal after drinking that stuff. You quietly think that maybe that drink is what's causing some people to act like different people. Got it. I won't touch that drink. By the way, can I ask you a few questions? The three lowlifes are also very straightforward. Ask away. If we know, we'll definitely tell you. Do you feel a different sense of breathing oppression under the moonlight compared to indoors? Since I haven't interacted with other moon people yet, getting more information might lead to new discoveries, you say, pretending to be a curious scientist, looking at them with deep concentration. Now that you mention it, yeah, it does feel a little different under the moonlight compared to indoors. Sometimes it's a little hard to breathe under the moonlight, but it's not too serious. Yeah, I thought it was just me not being healthy enough. So you guys feel that way too? Your eyes light up. Maybe moonlight isn't what's causing 90% of people to die, maybe it's suffocation. Because most people can't breathe under such intense pressure, and only a small number can tolerate it. Or maybe, the intense pressure during the first exposure awakened their potential, allowing them to adapt to breathing under that pressure. And your resets only happened because you lost consciousness after suffocating or falling asleep. But why are you stuck on this day? Suddenly, the official message sends you another piece of information. This time it's a location. You look it up, and it happens to be the location of the gathering you found on the website earlier. Looks like you're definitely going to this gathering. You pat the dust off yourself. How about we go to the gathering location now? Hiding here, it's easy to get caught. They suddenly remember what Dude said earlier, that the high priest's people could arrive at any time, and quickly agree to your suggestion. You leave the warehouse, ready to head out. As you reach the entrance, you look out at the moonlight, grip the stone in your pocket tightly, take a deep breath as if going to your death, and walk forward pretending to be calm. It works, just as you expected. Although the suffocation doesn't completely disappear and you still feel some discomfort, at least it's not enough to make you suffocate and reset immediately. Seeing you lagging behind, the lowlifes quickly call out to you to hurry up. You answer and catch up. You hop on one of their motorcycles, and after they tell you to hold on tight, they speed off, taking you with them. You watch the scenery rapidly disappear behind you. Thankfully, you caught a ride. If you had walked there yourself, it would have taken until tomorrow. On the way, you ask them about the so-called high priest. The high priest, well, how do I put it? At first, we guys followed the high priest's words, but gradually, we started to feel like something was off. How so? It's like, we feel controlled, obeying him unconditionally. Sometimes it feels like we've joined a cult. Shoo. Don't let anyone hear that. If the high priest's people hear this, we're screwed. Hearing what they're saying, you quietly think that things are indeed not simple. About 20 minutes later, you arrive at the gathering location. You thank them and tell them you'll definitely contact them if you find a solution. It's not just to appease them, you genuinely don't want more people to suffer from the moonlight. After all, everyone is just a victim of this disaster. Actually, I get it. If there was a cure, they would have found one already. Would we still be waiting? Maybe the stone is just a facade, or maybe I misunderstood from the beginning. We just brought you here because we thought it was the right thing to do. You watch them wave goodbye, pick up their helmets, and prepare to leave. Only then do you realize they specifically brought you here from the start. You want to say something, but the words catch in your throat. You just stare blankly at their receding figures. The night envelopes the figures of the three people until they become blurry. Only then do you turn and walk towards the brightly lit courtyard. As you walk, you pass a signpost and glance at it, suddenly feeling like something's not right. You quickly open your phone to confirm. And sure enough. To be precise, the location the official message sent you isn't the gathering location, but south of the gathering. You look south, and not far away, there's a low-slung tiled house. You walk according to the given location and indeed reach the entrance of the tiled house. You hesitate for a moment, but decide to try knocking first. Thump thump thump, no answer. Thump thump thump, still no answer. You try pushing the door. Creak, the door actually opens. As you walk in, you turn on your phone's flashlight. It's a 20 to 30 square meter space, completely empty. You take a closer look. Huh. There seems to be a square wooden board in the corner on the floor. You take 2 more steps closer. It doesn't look like a wooden board that was just placed here. It looks more like the entrance to a basement. You cautiously lift the wooden board. Sure enough, there are stairs leading down behind it. Since the previous official messages were reliable, this one should also be guiding you here. You think for 2 minutes and decide to go down. Since it's just layer after layer of stairs, you walk down slowly, leaning on the wall with your flashlight on. You feel like you've gone down about 2 floors worth of distance, and finally, the stairs are gone. You lift your flashlight. Before you is a bottomless passage, with rooms on either side. The room doors are all old and different, as if each has its own story. You keep walking down like this. Besides you, the only thing emitting a faint green light is the emergency exit sign on the ground. You hear a dripping sound in the distance. Just as you're about to hesitate about whether to keep going, suddenly, a pair of thick hands rest on your shoulders from behind. Startled, you whip your head around, the flashlight beam shining directly on the person's face. Now you can see the person in front of you clearly. They're unshaven, look a bit worn out, and are wearing a doctor's white coat. Seems like a doctor. The person squints slightly from the light, and you suddenly realize and quickly turn off the flashlight. Who are you? What are you doing in my clinic? To avoid suspicion, you simply say you happen to be passing by. This is your clinic? Yeah. Hello, my name is Dave, just call me Dr. Dave. Dr. Dave casually pushes open a door next to him. Inside are 2 simple hospital beds, with seemingly dying patients lying on them. Ever since the moon changed, the number of patients in suspended animation due to lung compression has been increasing. Wait, are you saying those people are in suspended animation? Hearing that the person in front of you is a doctor trying to save these people, you gain a bit of respect for him. That's right. After the lungs are compressed, the body goes into a stress response, mainly resulting in suspended animation. But I'm just one person, and there are too many patients. I simply can't save them all. What about the hospitals? Other doctors? Most doctors in hospitals can barely take care of themselves, let alone be unaffected by the moon and keep working non-stop to save people. Since there's no daytime anymore and things are chaotic outside, people aren't working when they should or resting when they should. It's nothing like it used to be. You fall silent. What he said is true. So, do you know why it won't turn to daytime anymore? Dr. Dave doesn't answer. He turns and picks up a newspaper from the ward. Here, look at yesterday's news, he says. You take the newspaper, and it reads: Meteorite impact on moon suspected, its mutation emits strong oppressive light. This report says that around 9 p.m. on the night of August 1st, astronomers observed a very bright meteorite impacting the moon. Since then, the moon has gradually emitted moonlight that makes people feel oppressed. And then, on the 2nd, it didn't get light. The sun was still in the sky, but for some reason, sunlight couldn't reach Earth. The situation is still being studied, and the reason is still unknown. After reading the news, you feel a mix of emotions. Although you've heard bits and pieces of this news, seeing the official newspaper announcement makes it particularly poignant. But it's not all bad news. There's a kind young man who, ever since he found out I can save these patients, has been searching for injured people day and night, bringing them in himself or sending others to bring them. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to find these patients by myself, let alone save them. I've been able to fully dedicate myself to saving and treating these people. Working together like this is the best way to save the most people. That's right. However, the patients these past few times have been particularly serious. I don't know if the change is getting worse. Since you're here, I'm still in the middle of saving someone and can't get away. Can you help me find him? He has some connections and seems to know some insider information. Knowing more information would help me treat patients more effectively. Okay, you agree without hesitation. Saving people is important, and you're happy to help out. But I don't know what he looks like. Look at me, I'm so busy I'm getting senile, Dr. Dave says. Then he takes out his phone, scrolls through it, and shows you the screen with a picture of a seemingly ordinary but very cheerful-looking young man holding a beautifully polished button. That's him, Dr. Dave says. So you exchange contact information, and Dr. Dave sends you the young man's photo. His name is Tom. Do you know about the gathering? He's probably there right now. Can you help me ask if there's any new information about the moon's change? Okay, I'm actually heading to the gathering in a bit. I'll help you find him, you readily agree. Having agreed to Dr. Dave's request, you leave, preparing to go to the gathering. There's nothing unusual on the way, and you smoothly arrive at the gathering entrance. Actually, calling it a gathering is a bit generous, it's just a secluded courtyard with some drinks and food in the middle. Various people are laughing and chatting, gathered in groups of 3 or 5, looking quite lively. If it weren't for the fact that it's already close to morning but there's still no sign of light, you would almost forget that things are chaotic outside due to the moon's change. As soon as you step into the courtyard entrance, someone with green hair holding a drink comes over to you. Hey kid, want a drink? It'll refresh your mind, strengthen your body, and it's exclusively for moon people, and it's free. You remember the advice from the 3 lowlifes and naturally refuse. No thanks, I'm allergic to that stuff, you say, waving your hand and quickly walking away. Seeing you leave without hesitation, the person doesn't press any further. As you wander around the gathering, listening to what people are talking about, you also secretly observe their appearances, looking for any sign of Tom. You walk around several times, but you don't find anyone. You do, however, overhear a lot of gossip, mostly trivial things, but also some talk about the high priest. However, everyone has the same look of excitement and obsession. You find a corner and quietly observe the guy promoting the drinks at the entrance. Most people will try it because it's free, and a small number refuse. But it seems that most of the people who are easily excited, talk loudly, get angry, and are gesticulating are the ones who have had the drink. You feel that investigating that drink is very necessary, but you think about it and don't seem to have any leads. At this moment, the people in front suddenly start clamoring and looking in one direction. You look and see someone walking into the courtyard. The person is wearing a loose robe embroidered with strange symbols and a hat woven with feathers, and a bizarre mask on their face. This must be the high priest. Next to the high priest are someone wearing a slightly plainer robe and some people in white. Silence, the person in the white robe says. Instantly, everyone stops making noise. Even those who were focused on chatting and hadn't noticed stop talking and become serious. Then, the high priest speaks. The great and sacred moon has bestowed upon us a new mission. In return for the reward of evolution, we must fully guide more people to join the moon people. And those who cannot accept the moonlight's baptism are abandoned by nature, abandoned by history. Noble moon people should lead humanity to a new peak. Listening to the high priest's words, you feel this isn't a normal gathering for communicating, it's more like a cult initiation. You're not interested in listening to the whole thing and keep looking for Tom. Unfortunately, you don't see anyone who even remotely resembles him. You start to get anxious quietly. You carefully weave through the crowd, but you just can't find that ordinary yet infectious smile. Carelessly, you bump into a big guy in the front row. Seeing his impatient look, you quickly apologize. As you look up, you happen to see the feather hat on the high priest's head. It looks familiar somehow, but you can't place where. Maybe you're mistaken. You continue searching the crowd, but even after the high priest finishes speaking, you still haven't found Tom. Afterward, the high priest leaves, the gathering is winding down, and the moon people are gradually leaving. But you haven't found the person Dr. Dave is looking for, and you feel a bit frustrated. At least you should give Dr. Dave an update. You prepare to go back to the underground clinic. As you're about to leave, you look at Tom's photo again. Suddenly, your pupils constrict. This button, isn't it the one sewn onto the high priest's feather hat? You feel like something is really wrong. You pull out your phone and send a text to Dr. Dave. Where can I buy the button Tom is holding in that photo? After a few minutes, you get a reply. That button seems to be made from a stone he really liked. There shouldn't be anything similar. He seems to really like this button and takes it everywhere. You understand. Since this button is almost unique, there are only two possibilities left. Either the high priest kidnapped Tom, which is why you didn't find him earlier, or the high priest is Tom himself. The more you think about it, the more uneasy you feel. You edit another text message. I suspect Tom is the high priest. Perhaps this message is too unbelievable, as Dr. Dave doesn't reply for a while. You think about it and decide to look for clues in the direction the high priest left. The direction the high priest left in is strange. It's a dense forest. Ding dong. Perhaps you triggered something again, as the official message sends another piece of information. This time it's still a location. It's clearly the center of that dense forest. Looks like there's a clue. You cautiously walk into the woods. The forest in the dark night is shrouded in gloomy moonlight. You can only hear the whining wind and your footsteps, and clearly hear yourself occasionally stepping on dry branches lying on the ground. The trees on both sides seem to be making way for you, with a muddy path stretching out in the middle, seemingly without end. You walk for a long time and finally approach the center of the forest. You become increasingly cautious. Gradually, the outline of a house appears in the distance in the darkness. Feeling some movement inside the house, you quietly approach and go to the window. You vaguely hear. How come there are only a few people today? Even though you can't see the person, you can feel the anger in their voice, and you recognize it as the high priest's voice from earlier. Feeling there must be a clue, you quickly open your phone and start recording. It's my fault for not sprinkling the sacred faith water to more places that need moon people. High priest, give me 1 day, and I can definitely contaminate all the water sources. 1 day? Do you know how much can change in 1 day? I've waited long enough. Enforcer, go get me that bottle of potion. Yes. High priest, absolutely not, that potion is for the nerves. Enough. No one can stop me from ruling the moon people. No one. Get out of here. After speaking, you quietly peek inside. At the door of the room is the high priest with his mask off. He looks exactly like Tom in the photo. You're shocked. You didn't expect the high priest to actually be Tom, and you didn't expect him to be so crazy in private. He's actually contaminating the residents' water supply with potion, and that potion sounds like it might affect the nerves. If that's true, the entire city will be severely impacted in a very short time, and the situation will be unimaginable. You absolutely cannot let him succeed. You quietly send the recording to Dr. Dave. Just then, you see the enforcer holding something and walking out of the forest. He must be going to contaminate the surrounding water sources. You turn and hide in his blind spot. To avoid being discovered by the high priest in the house, you walk far around the house and then quietly follow the enforcer. While following, you receive a reply from Dr. Dave. Isn't that Tom's voice? Is that really Tom? Is he really the high priest? You can feel Dr. Dave's shock and disbelief through the screen. Impossible, Kid often brings patients to be treated. It can't be Kid. Although most of the patients he brings are critically ill, he's definitely not the kind of person who would do such evil things. Before you can figure out how to reply, Dr. Dave calls. You answer the phone softly while keeping a distance behind the enforcer. But there's no sound on the phone, and you don't say anything. After a moment. Is that really Tom? You know it might be cruel to Dr. Dave, but you saw it with your own eyes, and based on Dr. Dave's reaction to the voice recording, he most likely recognized Tom's voice. Tom is a good kid, Dr. Dave's voice is clearly strained. He told me he hoped everyone could get along peacefully. How could you feel a little heartache, but given the circumstances, telling Dr. Dave directly is better than hiding it from him. You offer a few words of comfort and then say, "Dr. Dave, please calm down for a moment. The most important thing right now is that he seems to be going to contaminate the water source. Please think carefully if there are any clues." Water source, right. I think I saw him taking something from the pharmacy in my underground clinic yesterday. I didn't think much of it at the time, but now that I think about it, he never went into my pharmacy before. Then do you know what medicine is missing from the pharmacy? I'm not sure right now. There are too many types of medicines in the pharmacy. It would take at least 2 or 3 hours to inventory everything. Okay, please start inventorying now. I'm following the head enforcer. If we can find out what medicine he took, maybe we can find a way to make an antidote. Theoretically, yes. Kid, be careful. That enforcer seems to know some martial arts. Okay, I understand. After hanging up the phone, you feel a mix of emotions. At this point, you've followed the enforcer out of the forest. From a distance, you see the enforcer giving a small bottle of something to someone and giving instructions. You look closely at the person. Isn't that the guy handing out drinks at the gathering entrance? Just as you're wondering how to stop the water from being contaminated, a voice slowly comes from behind you. Eavesdropping for so long, it's time to pay the price. Before you can even turn around, you feel a heavy blow to the back of your neck. You collapse, your vision blurring. You wake up, accompanied by intense palpitations and a headache. But you don't have time to worry about that now. In the familiar room, you go through the same actions as last time, disguising yourself, avoiding your parents and neighbor, going to the warehouse, finding the stone, meeting the 3 lowlifes, and going to the gathering. It's almost automatic. This time, you don't hesitate and head straight to the underground clinic, preparing to use the voice recording to expose Tom's true identity directly in front of Dr. Dave. You quickly walk into the underground clinic and search for Dr. Dave's figure in the dim light. Soon, you find Dr. Dave in a corner room, tidying up the operating table. "Dr. Dave, hello, I need your help." "How do you know me? Do you need me to do something?" You take a deep breath. "Do you know Tom?" "Yes, what about him?" "From what I understand, the person being called the leader of the moon people outside is a young man named Tom." Dr. Dave is taken aback when he hears this and frowns. "Impossible, don't spread rumors. The Tom I know is at the gathering right now, but he's there to gather information to help the non-moon people who have been harmed. He's definitely not the moon people leader Tom you're talking about. Please, you must believe me. Does Tom have a button made from a rare stone, and the high priest has an identical one? Who exactly are you? How do you even know about the button? Who I am isn't important. The most important thing right now is that you must believe what I'm saying. I'll say it again, Tom couldn't possibly be the kind of person you're talking about. Even if I haven't been to any gathering or met any leader, it definitely wouldn't be him. It's not that I don't believe you. To be honest, the information I've gathered does coincide with Tom. I believe that in your heart, Tom wouldn't be this kind of person, but I'm certainly not acting recklessly this time. How about this, you come with me to a gathering. If I'm really mistaken, I'll apologize to you publicly and never doubt Tom again. How does that sound?" Hearing this, Dr. Dave finally relents. "I can go with you, but if things aren't as you say, I'll apologize in public, I promise. Just a moment, let me treat this young man's wound. He's quite badly injured." "Okay." You quietly stand behind Dr. Dave and watch him skillfully bandage the severely injured young man next to him. He also gives him an injection, and the young man's pained expression visibly eases. "I probably can't be gone for long. There are still many patients who need my help." "I understand. We'll go and come back quickly. This time, you set out with Dr. Dave. You come out of the underground clinic and see the gathering courtyard nearby, brightly lit. You quickly tell Dr. Dave a few things, such as not drinking random things and trying to sit in a corner to not stand out. Then you suddenly remember, Dr. Dave is a doctor. Maybe he can figure out what's in that drink. Dr. Dave, actually, some of my friends, became a little strange after drinking the water at the gathering entrance. Could you check what's in that water? Something like that happened? It should be possible. If I have a sample, I should be able to analyze it, Dr. Dave says, thinking for a moment. In a few steps, you reach the entrance. As soon as you step into the courtyard, just as before, the young man from last time comes over with a drink. Want a drink? It'll refresh your mind, strengthen your body, and it's exclusively for moon people, and it's free. You don't refuse and pretend to be curious. Really? Let me try it. You don't drink it right away. Instead, you take the drink and find a corner to quietly hand it to Dr. Dave. Dr. Dave takes a test tube from his jacket pocket, pours some of the drink into it, caps it, and puts it back in his pocket. Dr. Dave looks at the young people dressed in colorful clothes and acting bizarrely, his face full of confusion. You don't explain anything, just quietly wait for the high priest to appear. Soon, just like last time, the high priest walks out, surrounded by a crowd. As you observe the high priest's movements, you steal glances at Dr. Dave's reaction. After the head enforcer says silence, the high priest begins. The great and sacred moon has bestowed upon us a new mission. You clearly see Dr. Dave's expression change from calm to shocked, his face turning pale, then becoming incredulous, his eyes fixed on the high priest. You understand. He recognizes him. After a moment, is that really Tom? You look at him and nod reluctantly. Your action seems to be the last straw for Dr. Dave. He looks like he's about to break down. No way, he was just telling me yesterday that he had to save these kids, it must be a similar voice, that's not Tom. Dr. Dave, I've actually seen him without his mask. You know that what you're saying is selfish and cruel. It's like forcing parents who are proud of their child to admit that their child is a bully. But Dr. Dave is also your last straw. How could? Do you know why I said someone who drank the drink became a little strange? It's because Tom put something in the water. Your words are like spears piercing the middle-aged man in front of you. Behind you, Tom's impassioned speech sounds incredibly ironic. Dr. Dave seems to finally unable to bear it and stands up abruptly, a look of despair on his face, wanting to leave. The high priest's voice suddenly stops. Since you're here, you think you can just leave? You whip your head around. The high priest is staring at you. Catch them. A group of people in white suddenly appears in the crowd and approaches you, surrounding you and Dr. Dave. The other moon people, although they don't know what's going on, instinctively look at you with caution. You really are Tom. Tom doesn't want to reveal himself and immediately interrupts Dr. Dave's questioning. So what? You should feel honored to be used by the high priest, Tom says. Then he walks down the steps from the stage where he was just giving his passionate speech, passes the people in white, and stands in front of you and Dr. Dave. So, what you call collecting information is actually inciting the crowd here. Then why did you pretend to be kind and send people to deliver patients from thousands of miles away every day? He replies in a voice almost only you two can hear. Ha ha ha, of course, it was to make you believe me. Besides, Dr. Dave, didn't you notice that those patients, besides suffocating, also suffered secondary injuries? You. Hearing this, Dr. Dave's face turns red with anger, unable to speak clearly. Okay, so it was you all along. Guards. These two are disrupting the gathering and spouting nonsense. Their crime is even worse. Lock them up. After Tom finishes speaking, the people in white quickly approach you. They outnumber you, and you're quickly subdued. Dr. Dave's face is filled with despair, ashen. You regret it a little. Maybe you shouldn't have taken this risk with Dr. Dave, or even, maybe you shouldn't have told Dr. Dave. But it all seems too late. You and Dr. Dave are blindfolded by a group of people. You feel like you've been walking for a very long time, and then suddenly you start going downstairs. The moment you go down the stairs, a damp and confined air hits you. After walking a few more steps, you hear the sound of a lock being opened, and then the cloth over your eyes is removed. In front of you is a dim room, the air is cold, and there are a few people huddled in the corner. You're pushed into the room in front of you and then heartlessly locked inside. As you and Dr. Dave are wondering what to do, a few people from the corner walk towards you. It's really you. I thought I was mistaken. You look and see that it's the three lowlifes who brought you here. What are you guys doing here? Ah, don't even mention it. We didn't get far before we got caught. How did you get locked up too? And this is? This is Dr. Dave. We just found out some things, and the high priest found out, so we were brought here. Hello everyone, I'm Dave Smith, a doctor. Dr. Dave introduces himself. Ah, I'm Vicky, just call me Vicky. This is Dude and Brawny. So you guys are pretty much in the same boat as us. But what did you find out that they even had the guys in white escort you? You glance at Dr. Dave, and he reluctantly nods at you. You then say, that high priest is not a good person at all. He pretends to be a young man who saves lives and helps the injured in front of Dr. Dave to gain trust. Although we don't know exactly what for, it doesn't feel like anything good. He also puts something in the drinks at the entrance, and even. Hearing this, Vicky is surprised and asks, even what? I even received information that he might be about to contaminate the water source with some potion, to achieve control, and that potion seems to also affect the nerves. What? Now, not only Vicky and his group, but even Dr. Dave is shocked. What kind of high priest is he? Damn it! How can he do something like that? I can't believe I trusted him so much before. If only I had found out sooner, maybe none of this would have happened. It's not your fault, you comfort Dr. Dave. If it weren't for him, none of this would have happened. The root cause is Tom. So what do we do now? By the way, Dr. Dave, have you noticed anything different about Tom recently? You prompt Dr. Dave. Right, I think I saw him taking something from the pharmacy in my underground clinic yesterday. I didn't think much of it at the time, but now that I think about it, he never went into my pharmacy before. Exactly. Could it be that he took your medicine or used medicine from your pharmacy to make that potion? It's very possible, Dr. Dave says thoughtfully. But something that affects the nerves, there are too many medicines in the pharmacy. I might need to think about it carefully. No rush. Let's first think about how to get out of here. We're afraid that by the time we get out, things outside will already be out of control. That's right. If you need any help, the three of us want to do something too. You didn't expect these three lowlifes to want to help you too. Yeah, we might not be legitimate people, but we don't want to be homeless either. We heard you were going to stop the high priest from contaminating the water source. If we pretended not to see anything, we wouldn't be able to live with ourselves. You and Dr. Dave look at each other, feeling a little touched. Okay, then we won't be polite. The most important thing now is to get out of here. Do you guys have any ideas? There is, it might be a bit troublesome. Let's hear it. Dude thinks for a moment and says. There are 2 guards here. Brawny and I can go together. If we use brute force, it might work, but they both have stun batons. With stun batons, we can try splashing water on them. Ordinary pulse-type stun batons are very afraid of moisture. Once they get wet, they basically can't be used. If it's a DC-type stun baton, although it's not afraid of moisture. If it gets too much water, there's a certain chance it will conduct electricity and accidentally shock themselves. That's worth a try. Do they provide water here? Dr. Dave asks. Yeah, just ask for it. It's just that, you and Brawny will have to take one for the team. What are you afraid of? Even if you and Dr. Dave escape, Vicky will definitely come back to save us. Exactly. So after you discuss it, you yell and make a lot of noise to attract the attention of the two guards, ask for 2 large bowls of water, and then pretend to fight over unequal distribution. The guards see the 2 people about to get into a brawl and quickly unlock the door to stop them. At this moment, Vicky and you, with lightning speed, splash water on the stun batons tucked behind the guards' backs. Then Dude and Brawny quickly turn around to stop the guards from taking any further action. The 2 guards see that the situation is not right and try to pull out their stun batons, but after the stun batons get wet, they only make a faint sizzle sound and don't feel any current. You, Vicky, and Dr. Dave take this opportunity to rush out of the cell and run for your lives, following the path up the stairs. Only after reaching the top of the stairs do you realize that this is also a hidden underground space, and the exit is in the forest near the gathering. No time to rest, you suddenly think that the enforcer would have given the potion to the guy at the entrance by now. Let's go to the gathering entrance first. As you reach the vicinity of the gathering, you see the guy on his scooter already preparing to leave in the direction of the city center. What do we do? That's the person carrying the potion to contaminate the water source, you say, pointing at the figure speeding away. My brothers and I have our motorcycles still here. But there are 3 of us, and you and Dr. Dave don't ride, do you? You and Dr. Dave shake your heads simultaneously. We're screwed. I can only take 1 person. How about this, you go with Vicky. 80% of the city's water supply comes from the reservoirs south of the city, and that person is probably heading there first. I'll go back to the pharmacy to check what medicine is missing and also analyze what was put in this, Dr. Dave says, holding up the test tube from his jacket pocket. No, you refuse. Tom will definitely find out we escaped quickly, and the first place he'll send people to search is definitely the clinic. Right now, we don't know what the potion Tom has is, nor do we know how to stop them. The situation is very unfavorable for us. Moreover, there are still a few patients in the clinic, and I'm worried about them being there and also worried that Tom might send someone to do something. Even if something does happen, I have to go this time. You understand what Dr. Dave is saying and, hearing him say that, you don't insist anymore. Okay, then we'll keep in touch. If you're in danger, make sure you protect yourself. Don't worry, I built this clinic myself. No one knows it better than me. With that, you say goodbye to Dr. Dave, find the motorcycles nearby with Vicky, and head straight for the reservoir south of the city without a second thought. Ding dong. The familiar message notification. You open it, and it's still a location. Or a river, the river closest to you. You suddenly remember that while the reservoir south of the city is indeed the largest water supply in the city, this area is too remote, and the water source might not be the reservoir south of the city. You search on Baidu again. Sure enough, Ora River's water quality is pure, and the water is clear. The people in this area have been using the water from here for generations. And the person who is going to contaminate the water, since they live in this area, must also understand this. So they definitely wouldn't go all the way to the reservoir south of the city, but would instead take over the closest Ora River first, and then follow the water sources nearby towards the reservoir south of the city. Thinking of this, you immediately flash the location in front of Vicky's eyes. Vicky, do you know Ora River? Ora River? Yeah, I know it. It's a river nearby. I used to swim there every day when I was a kid. Great, let's go there first. To Ora River? Not the reservoir south of the city? People around here basically use the water from Ora River. If you were the one putting in the potion, would you give up this closest river? Damn, that's true, and it's close to the gathering too, and easy to control. As expected of a scientist, so thorough. You smile guiltily. So, you change direction and head towards Ora River. You think about it and send a text message to Dr. Dave, telling him you're going to Ora River first. Soon, you vaguely see a scooter ahead. Vicky sees it and twists the throttle. Only then can you see clearly that the person ahead is indeed the one you're looking for, who is planning to contaminate the water. At this time, Dr. Dave also replies to your text message. Okay. I checked the pharmacy, and what's missing is a painkiller. If extracted in large quantities, it could indeed produce a substance similar to drugs. I suspect the reagent I took is also likely a similar situation, but it's still just a guess. I'm currently extracting it. Got it. Please be careful, and also could you see if there's a way to mitigate the harm from that drug? Perhaps Dr. Dave is still researching, as you don't receive any more text messages. Just in time, the scooter ahead passes through the thicket and stops by the river. Under the moonlight, the water is clear to the bottom, calm and undisturbed. You can feel the power of life bursting forth after nourishing all things. The person gets off the scooter and is fumbling for something in their arms. You follow closely behind and, with quick hands and sharp eyes, shout. Stop! The person is startled and turns to look at the two of you. Who are you? You and Vicky walk towards him and say. I know what you're going to do, but do you know how many people your actions will harm? What's it to you? Wait, weren't you caught by the high priest at the gathering? How are you here? The person instantly takes a step back defensively, looking at you with malicious eyes. How I'm here isn't important. What's important is, hand over what you have. Vicky turns around and gets behind the person, also using his hand to prevent them from making any further moves, afraid they'll throw the potion into the river when you're not paying attention. Hey, 2 against 1, that's not fair. Do you think we're in a position to talk about fairness right now? Vicky says, tilting his head and smiling mockingly at him. You guys, you don't really think the high priest would let someone without any strength do something so important, do you? You secretly feel that something is wrong. Suddenly, Vicky twitches, his eyes instantly lose focus, and in less than 2 seconds, he falls to the ground. Following that, the person in front of you slowly puts away their stun baton, pulls out a dagger, squats down, points it at Vicky's throat and smiles at you. Tell me, should I kill him first, or throw the potion in first? By the quiet river, in that instant, you feel like you're detached from everything. All you can hear is a faint buzzing and the slight sound of the wind. You start to feel helpless. You suddenly realize how weak you are in the face of a stun baton, a dagger, and even seeing the person who was just talking to you so casually collapse right in front of you. No strength, no weapon, no backup. You're like an undefended warrior forced to face death, always thinking there will be a new direction once you leave this dark forest, but you forgot that right now, there's no sunlight. Just as you're feeling so desperate you even want to give up, you suddenly see something. A slightly trembling hand gently taps the ground. And clearly, the person with the green hair hasn't noticed anything. Hey, what's wrong? Weren't you being arrogant just now? Why aren't you talking anymore? You look up and say to him very seriously. I'm thinking, if I sacrifice his life to save everyone, will this all end? End? What do you mean by end? Get rid of the high priest? You'll never be able to do that. Even if you choose the potion, you're just delaying things. The great rule belongs to the high priest. Perfect evolution belongs to the moon people. What if I said I could do it? Without seeing the high priest's strength, how can you be so confident? You just used a little trick. Do you really think the high priest, who gained such influence in less than 5 days, relies solely on drugs? You're still too naive. You'll never imagine the high priest's talent. He's not entirely wrong, but given the current situation, you can't afford to worry about the future right now. So what? You pretend to be fearless, wanting to get more information out of him. Do you think you're in a position to be arrogant with me right now? You smile. These few minutes are enough to turn the situation around. With lightning speed, you grab a handful of dirt from the ground and throw it in the person's face. While his vision is blurred and he can't open his eyes, you immediately control the hand holding the dagger. Vicky, who was lying on the ground, also jumps up, snatches the potion, and twists his arm back, pinning him down, half sitting on him, giving him no chance to react. Damn, how are you still moving? You think I built all this muscle for nothing? He talked for so long, and you didn't realize he was stalling? Thanks for the explanation. We have a bit more chance of winning now. Winning? You don't really think you can win against the High Priest, do you? Even if you get past me, you definitely can't beat the Enforcer. The Enforcer is very skilled. Stopping a few of you would be a piece of cake. You and Vicky don't say much. You quickly take the potion bottle and dagger, and also snatch the stun baton he had hidden. You kick the person on the ground. Don't be arrogant for too long. I bet in less than half an hour, you'll be back in the dark room. Thanks for the good wishes. You and Vicky leave the riverbank. Vicky asks, what do we do next? I'll send a message to Dr. Dave. You open your phone and find that Dr. Dave replied to a text message 10 minutes ago. You open it and see that the analysis of the drink's ingredients is back. It does contain a tramadol-like substance extracted from the missing painkiller. If consumed in excess, it can lead to addiction, vomiting, nerve damage, and many other negative consequences. There's no antidote that can be quickly formulated. If you're not mistaken, the potion about to be poured into the water is likely a highly concentrated tramadol solution. As you're secretly relieved that you stopped the potion from being poured into Aura River, another message from Dr. Dave arrives. This time, you feel a little uneasy. Dr. Dave is with me. If you want him to be safe, come to the reservoir south of the city alone. This must be from Tom. He must have found out you escaped and guessed that Dr. Dave wouldn't abandon those patients, so he went to the clinic first. You angrily show the message to Vicky. What? Dr. Dave is in danger. Going alone isn't safe for you either. I'll go with you. No, if we go together, Tom might harm Dr. Dave. How about this, since Tom wants me to go to the reservoir south of the city, he'll definitely concentrate all his forces there. This is the best chance to rescue Dude and Brawny. Go save them now. If something goes wrong, just pretend we used you. You and Dr. Dave are in such danger, and you want us brothers to wash our hands of it? Impossible. This is indeed the best chance to save them. Don't act rashly. Once we get out of that hellhole, we'll meet up with you guys. After all this, you also know that Vicky and his two friends are loyal people. Forcing them to leave wouldn't be right, and besides, you really don't have the confidence to face Tom and his many followers alone, so you agree. Before you leave, you give him a few instructions. Thinking that your trip this time is too unpredictable, you also give the bottle of potion you snatched from the other person to Vicky. It's not safe for me to carry this. If you think of a way to deal with it on the way, destroy it. Vicky takes the potion and nods. So, Vicky gets on a motorcycle, you grab the scooter, and you both set off separately. Along the way, your mind is chaotic, but you keep thinking that Dr. Dave is still in Tom's hands, so you don't dare to relax, afraid something else might happen. It's still the official message, but this time it's a long block of text about how to close the sluice gate. It suddenly becomes clear to you. You immediately call Vicky. You hear a lot of noise on the other end of the line, but you can tell Vicky is likely succeeding. You then tell Vicky your idea. Got it. Leave it to me. So you confidently continue riding your scooter. All the things that have happened recently keep replaying in your mind, but you feel like you're close to the truth. After about half an hour, you arrive at the reservoir south of the city. It's not far from the city center. Through the trees and houses, you can faintly see lights. You casually park your scooter by the road and walk into the reservoir area. There's light coming from the reservoir. Instead of walking directly towards the light, you go into a small house next to the reservoir, fumble around for a long time, and then walk towards the light. From a distance, you see Tom on the other side of the river, Dr. Dave tied up next to him, and a group of people in white behind them. You have a bad feeling. "You're here," Tom says, smiling. "Let Dr. Dave go. Do you think that's possible? Tell me, what do you want?" "You don't know?" He pulls out a bottle of potion identical to the one you snatched from the other person earlier and shakes it at you. "Don't you know everything? If you wanted to put something in the water, you would have done it before I got here. You specifically caught someone and waited for me. What's your purpose?" You quietly kick a few leaves into the river. The leaves float calmly on the surface and don't drift away, which means the sluice gate is closed. "Not that stupid, huh? Originally, I would have just secretly dealt with someone who suddenly popped up and hindered my plan, but why does this person know what I'm going to do but can disappear without a trace? Don't you think that's interesting?" You fall silent. Indeed, in this one day, you didn't approach him to get information. You just used the information from the previous time, so naturally, you didn't leave any traces. Maybe you don't know this, but I didn't plan to use it originally. The order was just given a few hours ago. Only 4 people knew about it, and I hid cameras everywhere in the forest. You shouldn't know about this at all. Tell me. Who exactly are you? How do you know about this? You're startled, then you smile. How do I know? Don't you really have any doubts about the people around you? You know that Tom has a lot of people, so a head-on confrontation is definitely not a good idea. You're talking nonsense. Inciting discord won't work on me. Really? After I escaped from prison, someone told me that after the enforcer left the forest with the medicine, he handed it over to someone at the gathering entrance, who seemed to be the person selling drinks at the entrance, and also told him to go to Ora River first. Isn't that right? It's somewhat possible to hide cameras in the forest, but there are people coming and going at the gathering entrance. You're gambling that Tom doesn't know the situation then, and also gambling on the trust between Tom and his so-called confidants. But to be honest, the high priest should really care more about his subordinates, otherwise why would someone constantly complain to me? Otherwise, in the future, it won't just be one person who doesn't want to follow orders. Wouldn't you say so, enforcer? Okay, fine. Do you believe I'll kill Dr. Dave right now? Enforcer, how do you explain this? You hear the anger in Tom's voice and relax a little. A figure rushes out from among the people in white and instantly kneels down. The people in white behind them also kneel down in unison. Absolutely not. I have never revealed a single word, nor have I ever complained about anything regarding the high priest. Then explain why he knows so clearly. The enforcer lowers his head and remains silent. You quietly watch the situation unfold, finding it incredible that it's progressing so smoothly. Tom's anger suddenly subsides. You don't really think that with just a few words, you can make me drag them out for snitching, do you? Even if someone snitched, so what? You still can't do anything to me now. As expected, Tom is someone who incites others, so how could he be easily provoked? I know you have many tricks up your sleeve. I advise you to use them all at once, otherwise, when I lose patience, Dr. Dave and this bottle of potion will be fed to the fish. You're a little anxious. You didn't expect him to see through it so quickly. You have no way to stall for time. You stare intently at Tom across the river. He's wearing the same clothes. Dr. Dave looks at you, his face calm and serious. He quietly points at himself, then at the ropes binding him. You instantly understand. Just then, your hand accidentally touches the meteorite in your pocket that you almost forgot about. You suddenly have an idea. Why does Tom know the effect of this meteorite, and why does he have to go to such great lengths to destroy it? Tom sees you're not talking and not making any moves. He's about to say something when the grass behind you rustles loudly. You turn around. Sure enough, it's Vicky. Got held up a bit, sorry I'm late, Vicky says, grinning at you. Tom sees another person has arrived, and it's the one who escaped from prison with you. He immediately realizes you're working together. Accomplices? Do you believe I'll throw Dr. Dave in the river right now? Why always throwing people in the river? I can't believe I used to follow you. TSK, how crude, Vicky says, looking relaxed, even pulling out a cigarette from his pocket and putting it behind his ear, looking lazily at Tom. Tom's anger flares up even more. You traitor. You're not worthy of being a moon person. You quietly laugh. Vicky's follow-up is good. Originally, Tom might have only believed you about 30%, but now, it must be 50%. Bah, moon person or not, I am whatever I want to be. Much more righteous than a poisoner like you. Alright, alright. Guards, feed Dr. Dave to the fish. Wait. In a flash, something clicks in your mind. I don't think the high priest has the right to strip someone of the ability to become a moon person. What nonsense are you spouting now? I remember Dr. Dave telling me you have a button you're almost always with. Is it the one on your hat? What exactly do you want? Tom is clearly a little flustered. Nothing much, it just looks familiar. I always feel like the pattern looks like something. I thought, and finally remembered. It seems you sent people to look for a stone before, but they didn't find it. It was something that could allow non-moon people to be exposed to moonlight, right? Wouldn't you say it's quite a coincidence that I happened to find it? You take out the stone, show it to Tom, to the high priest, and then pretend to examine it carefully. Oh, the more I look, the more it looks like that button. But isn't this something only non-moon people need? Why does the high priest wear it all the time? Could it be that the high priest isn't a moon person? Nonsense. You're just spouting nonsense. Me, the great high priest. The supreme leader of the moon people, how could I not be a moon person? That stone you have is just one you picked up by the roadside, trying to fool me? This time, you clearly feel that Tom is truly flustered and is already speaking without thinking. Damn, you even know that? Awesome, Vicky whispers, giving you a thumbs up. I wasn't sure before, but I am now, you reply with a thumbs up. The people in white across the river are clearly hesitant and start looking at each other. What are you still hesitating for? Take off his hat and get the stone, and everything will be clear. You don't really want to be suppressed by a non-moon person forever, do you? You continue. The group in white looks convinced, but they don't dare to make a move. At this moment, without a moment's delay, Dr. Dave breaks free from the ropes and lunges towards Tom's head. Tom grabs Dr. Dave's forearm, and the two are locked in a stalemate. Guards! Grab him! Tom roars. But the people in white just look at each other and don't make a move. Traitors! You're all traitors. Just as you're wondering whether to cross the river and help Dr. Dave, several people in uniform suddenly dart out from among the people in white, instantly restraining Tom, pinning him to the ground, and handcuffing him. They're finally here, Vicky says. You asked me to deal with that bottle of stuff, and I didn't know what to do, but guess what I saw on the way? You look at him and continue listening. A police station. I originally planned to use Tom's act of poisoning the water to just get more people to help save people. Because I thought those police officers probably wouldn't be able to control this many people in white, but after I got here, I was a bit more cautious and decided to have Dude and Brawny call the police first. See? What a coincidence, right? How many years do you think he'll get for poisoning the water on such a large scale? Vicky is still grinning. Awesome, you say, giving him a thumbs up just like Vicky did to you earlier. Keep it low key, low key. I'm telling you, it's useless even if you arrest me. I already secretly put the stuff in. There's no antidote for this stuff. You're finished. Tom screams as he's dragged away. The police are also stunned when they hear this. If that's true, contaminated water might have already flowed out. Ah. Too bad. Before I came, I accidentally closed the reservoir gate. You yell back, mimicking Tom. Vicky can't help but laugh when he hears this. After the situation is resolved, the police leave with Tom and the group in white. You, Vicky, Dr. Dave, Dude, and Brawny all meet up. You ask each other what happened, and after going through so much, you're all ready to go back and rest. Your directions are different, and as you're about to say goodbye and leave, the official message arrives again. 59 minutes left. Hurry back. In that instant, you suddenly remember why you came here, why you're always in a loop. You quickly say goodbye to them and rush home. Because behind the slightly ajar door next to your bedroom is a time machine, sitting there quietly. You lie down in it and gently press start. One day ago. You're at home watching the news. The news is full of reports about a new organization called the Moon People that appeared almost overnight. Besides these emerging groups, there are corpses everywhere on the roadside inside and outside the city, which is horrifying. And you, a well-known scientist in this city, have been buried in research for the past few days. By the time you paid attention to the outside world, it had become like this. As you're at a loss, someone bursts into your house. It's Dave Smith, Dr. Dave. He says he knows all the inside information about the Moon People. He read in a newspaper that you had been researching how to go back in time and seemed to have made some progress. He looked for a long time and found this place, wanting to beg you to help the people outside. You're tempted. After all, you haven't really tested that machine yet, and the outside world is indeed a living hell right now. You want to change it. Dr. Dave volunteers, but you know there are still many problems with this machine. For example, if the time-traveling life form enters an unconscious state, it will be bounced back to the starting time by a self-protection mechanism, with a high chance of temporarily losing memory of a large period of time that was modified. Also, you can't go back in time and return for more than 24 hours, and there are many other unpredictable situations. So you can't hand over such a dangerous task to someone else. Therefore, you record Dr. Dave's plan regarding the High Priest and create official messages that can guide you in the past. You also set up many strange messages to remind yourself not to rashly look directly at the moon, and so on. With everything ready, you embark on a journey called rescue.